show. Is it a sandwich? If I called a hot dog a sandwich, do you think that you'd be fine with it? If not, then why? Let's bust this wide. Mary, Carrie, Kelly, Matt, oh my, is it a sandwich? Well, let's decide.
We've arrived at the ultimate episode where we dish out a great big crunchy dollop of truth on the question of a generation. Hold on to your hats and don't get jelly, because today we decide, is peanut butter a solid or a liquid on Order Up?
Don't get jelly.
We try to keep it listeners when Matt does his intros off the top, but we never know what he's going to say. Kelly Zimnick is here, your friend, your pal, your compadre in peanut butter adventures. We have made it to episode 6 of the peanut butter season, and I have to check in with everybody. I'm all aflutter if anyone's opinion has changed. Let's go over to California.
Villains,
Mary.
moderately efficient, but they are flawed.
Oh.
They harbor humanity and therefore
I hit a wrong button while moving a
Can
screen.
you keep that in?
Okay.
What was that?
That was the peanut butter gods.
Oh, my.
Letting us know something is up. Mary Kennedy, have you changed your opinion?
No. I'm sorry, everyone. I
That's
have
okay.
not. I am still on Team Liquid. And you're not going to change my mind.
Does the voice of reason, Matt, want to come back? Matt, have you changed your opinion?
Nope, still think it's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Which will
Liquid.
be the name of my next ska band. Running joke, everyone. Running joke. Carrie Haim, have you changed your opinion?
Yes, Kelly, I have.
Have you moved over to the liquid side?
I've moved to the liquid side. So in all 8 seasons, I don't think I've ever been swayed from my initial vote, but a few of our guests have really made me stop and think, and I am now solidly a liquid.
Well, Carrie, I have to confess, I too have switched teams. I've gone from solid to liquid because everyone's convinced me I was possibly wrong.
Oh, see?
Growing experience. Peanuts made you grow as a person.
So we'll check in at the end of the show to see if anyone is still holding up the sign for solid. But that's all right. Before, though, we get to our guest for season 6, Matt Ardill, what nutty facts have you whipped up for today's episode?
I got a couple of doozies. We've all done it. We've grabbed a slice of bread and slathered some peanut butter on it and chowed down on a nice piece of bread or toast with peanut butter and maybe a glass of milk right before bed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scientific reason why that is a good classic before bed treat. Now, peanut butters contain tryptophan.
What?
The same chemical found in turkey, which makes us pass out at Thanksgiving and Christmas. There are 74 milligrams of tryptophan in 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So if you compare that to like the seasonal bird chowing down on turkey, there's 410 milligrams per pound, which works out to about 12 milligrams per 2 tablespoons of turkey. So peanut butter has way more tryptophan. Mind you, I think the stomach full of stuffing, mashed potatoes, candied yams, and 2 servings of pie also help with the drowsiness. But yeah.
Wow. So I will stop bathing my turkey in peanut butter. That's why everyone falls asleep.
No wonder nobody comes back.
I had no idea. It's just something I've seen my mother do over the years. Like she still does peanut butter on toast before bed, and I just thought I was copying my mom, but there you go.
Anyway. One more.
All right.
So when you go around the world, peanut butter isn't as always as easy to find as it is here in North America. One rumor that sprung up, especially in the wake of the last season of Stranger Things, spoilers, not only did they make sure kids were aware how cool Kate Bush continues to be, they also let people know that peanut butter was banned in the Soviet Union and later Russia. Well,
Wow.
it's not entirely true. While there was a black market for American goods like Jordache jeans, the most expensive of American jeans in the Russian black market, heavy metal albums, and yes, even peanut butter, it was less about an actual ban and more about the fact that the Cold War made shipping hell. Those of us old enough to remember the Cold War, it was more a case of broad embargoes on goods, meaning this caused Russians to absolutely lose their minds with having Big Mac attacks when the first McDonald's opened. Now there was a period of liberalized trade between Russia and the rest of the world during Glasnost and after the change and fall of the Soviet Union. But this really just led to it becoming accessible, but only in very high-end markets. So, like the Russian equivalent of Trader Joe's, I guess that would be like market keeping prices low. It is still available, but hard to get. But now it's once again next to impossible due to ongoing trade disputes due to global conflict.
Does this have to do with tariffs? That's a hot word right now, everyone. Yeah. Tariffs. At the time we're recording.
Yes.
Tariffs is the Halloween word costume of the season. That's fascinating. I've never watched Stranger Things, but that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I watched the first season. I got kind of bored with the second season.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a tribute to all Steven Spielberg-y kind of storytelling, so I should like it on paper, but yeah.
Wow.
So
sometimes if it's good on paper, it's not.
I have a bit of research.
Listeners.
I have a bit of research that I just did, Matt, live from California. What is the European version of Trader Joe's? To be clear, there are no Trader Joe's stores in other countries.
Okay.
The Trader Joe's name seen on the packaging is used as a form of Aldi Nord branding. So actually Trader Joe's is related to Aldi. Thank you. There it is. Yes.
Interesting.
So
interesting fact.
I did not know that.
Yep. There you go.
For those who don't know, Aldi is a grocery store. What would it be equivalent to? Blah blah?
Yeah, blah, maybe?
Maybe no frills?
There is no frills in an Aldi. No frills. But it's cheap and it's easy. And I support it. But yeah.
So do you think like Trader Joe's is just, that's like the cousin Trader Joe never talks about?
Maybe.
The family secret. Dad had some fun. I'm kidding. All right. Well, I love that. The bellies are full with facts. Carrie and I have switched teams.
I can't believe it.
Do you think your husband's going to be okay with that? Because he was like on the fence with his answer.
No, I think he ended up also on Team Liquid. He was with Matt with his non-Newtonian fluids. Right. What got me, a few of our guests mentioned the TSA regulations, that kind of swayed me a bit. But then I started imagining actually spreading peanut butter. So even though it feels solid in the jar, I can't scoop up like a soccer ball and spread it. No, it's not spreadable. A real solid isn't spreadable. I can't spread, salami or something. And fundamentally, peanut butter is spreadable. Even though it's hard to spread sometimes, and sometimes the bread tears, it's a liquid.
Now, just to play Mr. Peanut advocate here for a second.
Okay.
What if you grabbed the cake and started spreading? That would spread.
Don't mess me up, Matt. I made a choice to switch sides, and now you're confusing me.
Gosh darn it, just support us.
Okay. I'm still sticking with my views, my liquid views. Yeah.
Well, it is episode 6 of season 8. Let's finish this jar of peanut butter off. It's order.
And Kelly, who is our guest today?
I have never met him in my life. I'm kidding, friends. I've known him for a long time. Our guest today is a Canadian statistician and nonfiction author. He is a professor at the University of Toronto and wrote the book Struck by Lightning, The Curious World of Probabilities, which was a bestseller in Canada and has been published in 10 languages.
Ooh.
Show off. He has also written a graduate textbook on probability theory and co-authored an undergraduate textbook on probability and statistics. And he has also appeared on I can't believe it, on William Shatner's Weird or What.
No.
It's just crazy. My fun side fact, my dad went to high school with William Shatner. He did not go to high school with our guest, though. Our guest today is Jeff Rosenthal. Jeff! Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. What was William Shatner? How did you get on William Shatner's show?
Well, I have to be honest, if you want to start with that, I didn't actually meet him.
Okay.
When they shot my stuff, because I was doing quite a bit of media after my book came out and things about different probabilities, and there were a couple of probability things related to the show. So they shot them with me, and they had, the TV producers and everything, and they shot them, so I had to interview students, whatever. But they didn't tell me it was William Shatner until after the segments, or I would have done a much better job if I'd known how important it was. But having said that, he still introduced things, and he does say my name. So I have clips of William Shatner introducing mathematician Jeff Rosenthal. So he said that. So I've got recording to that, and it's pretty cool. But I did not meet him in person, I have to be honest.
That is fantastic. I've also got to say, friends, Jeff is a fantastic improviser, both on stage and musical improviser. I'm curious, what got you started in improv?
A friend, actually, my friend Mike Ranieri, who I met through another friend, John Pajak, who's now deceased, actually, but he was just friend of a friend, and he said, he does all this improv, and Jeff, why don't you try it out? And so I went to some beginner workshops. I was not a natural. It took me quite a while to get comfortable with even the beginner workshops doing improv, but I gradually learned my way up. And then, I've been performing music off and on since I was younger, but it had nothing to do with my improv until one day they said, hey, for this improv show, we want to have a musical improviser. Could anybody do that? I didn't even know what it was, but it's like, well, I've been learning improv and I do perform music. Maybe I'll give it a try. And it turned out, because I'd done a lot of music jamming with people where, you just play and you got to play off what they play. I was reasonably good at being aware of what other people were doing and playing off it. Turned out that although I wasn't an amazing musician, I had the right skills to do musical accompaniment for comedy. And it turns out everybody wants to perform improv. Everybody wants to perform music. Not that many people want to perform musical accompaniment to improv comedy. And if you specialize enough, people will call you and invite you to their shows.
Absolutely. Carrie's raising her hand there.
I'm raising my hand because I do musical improv, and it's good to know that there's another guy out there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is more specialized because, nobody ever called me and said, hey, we need another improviser tonight. But they call and say, we need a musical improviser tonight.
Right. Well, usually when Jeff is called, it's to be on TV to talk about the probabilities of the lotto or a sports game. But today, Jeff, we're tossing that aside to quiz you on peanut butter.
Right.
Matt, you have 5 questions. Give her.
Yeah. So welcome. So I'm going to start with the easiest one, I guess, in a way. Do you like peanut butter?
I gotta say, I love peanut butter. It's one of my great foods, and I was so relieved because when I was invited, Kelly invited me to the show as some food discussion show. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know what the topic was going to be. I was very intimidated because Kelly did all this cooking shows and all these sophisticated things. I thought, I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to keep up. Then I found out the topic is peanut butter, and I thought, that's my jam. I can do that. I can talk about peanut butter. That's something I know. And I love peanut butter, so it's the best topic in the world for me.
It's one of those foods that, there's no middle ground. You either love it or you hate it.
That's true.
Most people, if they're not allergic, love it.
Yeah. I have a guy I do research with in England a lot, this guy named Gareth, despises peanut butter, and I cannot have it anywhere near him when we're working together. So I agree with what you're saying.
Mary's got a question.
Yeah.
Did the hand go up?
I wish it was my go-to food. Being allergic, I don't get tryptophan. I get nothing. I can't combine my chocolate and my peanut butter. So anyway, just want to let everybody know I'm salivating right now.
I'm so sorry. I feel awful now.
Yeah.
No, you
You
shouldn't.
have to track down some non-allergenics or like peanut butter substitute. For you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, nuts.
Exists.
Right, a tofu peanut butter, I've heard. Just kidding.
Sunflower butter. Sunflower butter but it doesn't. It tastes like sunflower butter. It does not taste like peanut butter. So
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm not talking about that.
Question number 2. Peanut butter is mostly banned in schools these days due to allergies. What food do you wish had been banned when you were in school?
Right. Well, I got to say, I mean, I'm not really a banner at heart. I don't really believe in banning things, and I wasn't super grossed out by anything, so I believe let live. Other people can eat what they want. But I will say that when I was younger, I was a bit of a food snob in some ways, which I now think are absurd now. In particular, I think my parents and my dad maybe convinced me that, there's real food and then there's crappy artificial frozen dinners and these things that you should never eat. And I remember I would always, my parents would give me lunch for school, but one day in high school they didn't, and I was supposed to go to the school cafeteria. I was like, oh, this isn't going to be real food, is it? So I went to the cafeteria, I ordered something, and it could come, would you like gravy with that? And me and my snooty high school way said, is that real beef gravy? And the woman behind the counter said, I don't know. And I realized I was being ridiculous. I even got the gravy. I never asked any questions ever again. And since then, I've never complained about other people's food. So live and let live. All food is good.
And I mean, that poor woman too. She's really just thinking like,
I know. She's probably getting minimum wage. I feel so terrible now.
Now this is a very divisive question. Question number 3. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Well, I'll say I actually love any peanut butter. I'm not too fussy, but if you want me to choose, I would choose smooth peanut butter because it's less work. You gotta crunch all those little bits and they get stuck in your teeth, and it's kind of a bit of an operation. Smooth peanut butter just goes down like silk. There's nothing to worry about. It's living a dream eating smooth peanut butter.
Yeah, I find too when if I'm spreading chunky, it like rips up the bread.
Yeah, falls off the side, doesn't stay in. Yeah. It's just smooth peanut butter. It's like a gene. You can sculpt it.
Next project.
Or my last project.
So what would you rather eat? A peanut butter and pickle sandwich or a peanut butter and sriracha sandwich?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I got to say, I'm quite open-minded about combining foods and combining peanut butter foods. In fact, one of my wife's favorite things to eat is a peanut butter sandwich with bacon on it. And she loves it. And it's pretty good. I even made it myself. So I'm pretty flexible. But the 2 options you suggested, I'm not loving either one. But on the other hand, I'm not really into spicy food. And I actually do really like pickles. I don't think I like them with peanut butter. But if I had to choose, I'd probably do the pickles and peanut butter and try to separate them out on the 2 sides of my mouth so I could enjoy the peanut butter and then also enjoy the pickles, but try to keep them as separate as I could.
But you've clearly married a genius. That's awesome.
I really have. In fact, my wife may be one of the people who loves peanut butter even more than me. It's one of her real go-to foods. In fact, I don't know if should I do a little digression to a travel story?
Please.
In fact, I have two stories related to traveling with my wife and peanut butter. The first one, I'll save the first one because it relates to, I think, what's going to be your big final question. So I'll save that one. But the other one is, we once went to South America for 5 weeks, and we always bring peanut butter when we travel because my wife needs it. But 5 weeks we ran out, and we were in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And the question is, can you buy peanut butter in Buenos Aires, Argentina? And as you were hinting at, peanut butter is extremely common here. It's not very common in some other places.
Right.
And it's basically unheard of in Argentina. So the internet was just coming in at the time, and we did web searches, and we found one extremely detailed instructions for here's how you buy peanut butter in Buenos Aires.
Oh my God.
And we had to go, first of all, to Chinatown. Now they have a small Chinatown. You wouldn't think Chinatown's the place to get peanut butter, but it was the instructions. So we took the subway, whatever. We get to Chinatown. You have to find this one store, which we managed to find, Then it was like the instruction, okay, go to like the back of the store, go to the 4th shelf on the right. It was like this detail.
Wow.
Go to the 3rd one to the top and look a little bit left of the peas or something like that.
Wow.
And we followed it because we couldn't find it anywhere. We followed the instructions to the screw thing well, and there were a few jars of peanut butter, and we bought 2 of them.
Wow.
So it's hard to buy peanut butter in some places, but my wife, she is a genius, and she does love her peanut butter. And we had to go.
That's a good journey.
Epic peanut butter journey.
Out of curiosity, what is the longest Margaret has gone without having peanut butter?
Good question. Not long, I think, because that was one of our bleakest peanut butter moments, and we still had peanut butter for her. So I'd have to say, not very long.
Hey, Kelly, bleak peanut butter moments. Bleak peanut butter moments. Another ska band.
Peanut butter moment.
I think
That's good. Very good.
Or album.
Yeah. Album title. Yeah.
So I have a question though about this journey.
Right.
So was the peanut butter that you got, was it peanut butter? Was it like a Jif or a Skippy? Or was
I can't remember I can't remember the brand, but it was indeed. It was after all this torturous journey, we found just ordinary, regular, perfectly fine peanut butter. So there you have it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's incredible. It's only on one shelf in Buenos Aires, but we found it.
That's crazy. That would be a cool movie. That journey just to get the peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like a peanut butter treasure hunt, maybe.
Yeah.
Starring Nicolas Cage.
Maybe.
Of course.
Okay, that brings us to our last question.
Right.
Is peanut butter a liquid or a solid?
I gather from your early show banter that this has been quite a contentious issue.
Yes.
I'm a little nervous weighing in at all. But I got to say, and actually, this will also relate to that other travel story I want to tell you. But for me personally, I got to say peanut butter is a solid. It's a food. You eat peanut butter. You don't drink peanut butter. You don't go and get a glass of peanut butter. You make a meal out of your peanut butter. It's a food. It's something you eat. You don't pour it out of the jar. You scoop it or knife it out of the jar. It's a food. It's not a beverage at all. But my travel story is more on the liquid side because, and you may have already hinted at this, so maybe you already know this, but I was flying again with my wife, who can't go anywhere without peanut butter, and we didn't even check the peanut butter. We had it in our carry-on luggage, and this was during all the time they were cracking down on you can't have liquids on the plane because you could be hiding something terrible. So we had the health food store natural peanut butter, so it wasn't like labeled with the commercial thing. It's just in the plain plastic jars. But we had it in our bag, and they searched our bag. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's peanut butter. It's like, well, how do we know it's peanut butter? And they were saying, we can't know it is, and they were considering it a liquid. I guess in the X-ray, maybe it shows up as some sort of thing. I don't know, but it was because of the liquid ban. And they were saying we couldn't bring it. We were like, look, I cannot travel with my wife without peanut butter. What you're talking about here. But they wouldn't let us go. And they said, okay, how do we know it's not, some terrorist, whatever? And finally, I said, they didn't even suggest it, but I said, like, if I take a scoop of it with my finger and eat it, would that prove it? It's like, yeah, that would prove it. So we open up this plastic jar, stick my finger in, lick it on my face, and then they let me take it.
Wow.
It was the worst airport security check ever, and I've had a few of them.
That's
so,
crazy.
The air authorities might be on your side on this one, but I got to say, for me, peanut butter is solid. It's not a beverage. It's not a liquid.
Not a beverage.
That is fair. And friends, with Jeff's answer and what Carrie and I did off the top, liquid wins by 1.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the first time I've won.
Solid was going to win, and then it liquefied.
Because everybody switched their opinion. I heard you guys.
I've never switched my opinion before. This is the first time, but I've had a lot of weeks to think. So
I have thought about it and thought about it.
Yeah.
My mother the other night held up a jar of peanut butter in front of me, turned it upside down, and said, "This is a liquid."
Good argument. Good
and
argument.
I was like, point taken. But no, I was swayed. Swayed.
Yeah.
There we go.
The first time I won.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm going to
So,
take it.
there you have it.
Jeff, where can folks find any of your books? Find you on socials, book you to do musical improv? Where can folks find you?
Well, if people go to probability.ca, which is pretty easy to remember, that's my own web domain, and you can find links to everything I've ever done. Probability.ca.
Nice. Will they find the map to the peanut butter?
I'll put it up tomorrow. That's a good idea. I'm going to search tomorrow and find the Buenos Aires peanut butter hunt instructions and put them on probability.ca.
Oh, man. We learned a lot. Mary, how are you feeling? As our lone peanut allergy expert, you made it through the season okay. We needed about 97 EpiPens for you, but we got through.
No, I mean, it makes me long for the days when I wasn't allergic. So the fact that we have our probability master, I don't know if you do any medical thing, but it would have been nice when I was 5 years old with a test of, this is going to be the probability that you are going to be peanut allergic. So eat all the peanut butter you can now.
Right.
Because 27 and over, you will not be able to eat peanut butter, shellfish, cashews, all sorts of things, tree nuts. So, yeah, I'm an anomaly, just so you know.
Yeah.
And I want rules. So,
We can ask Jeff what the odds are. Jeff, what are the odds? No, it's just...
allergies are more common than they used to be, for sure. And I feel so bad extolling the virtues of peanut butter in your presence.
No, you're fine. But, I almost feel like, I don't know. I think when I was a kid in school, the schools really didn't care if people had peanut allergies.
No.
Everybody bought peanut butter. No. And if, you ended up getting an allergy, oh, well. Now, if somebody ate peanut butter on Tuesday and comes to school on Thursday, they're in an incubation chamber, so it's...
I remember my nephews when they were growing up more recently, they couldn't take peanut butter sandwiches to school. They always took cheese sandwiches. Cheese sandwiches was the one thing nobody objected to, and they could take that to school.
I think if cheese was banned, there would be riots.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I think even vegans will claim to eat cheese because you cannot get...
There'd be cheese whiz in the streets.
All right, friends. Well, we're going to finish off this jar of peanut butter with Jeff here. And thank you for listening. We're going to be back next season with a brand new topic. So stay tuned. It's been Order Up. That's it. Done. We're done. Hey.
Thanks, Jeff.
Primitive villains.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Moderately efficient, but they are flawed.
Oh, God. I can't.
That's scaring me today.
I was going to do a Doctor Who podcast, and we did have an episode about the Daleks, so that was...
Order Up is hosted and produced by Matt Ardill,
Mary Kennedy,
Larry Hayne,
Kelly Zemeckis.
and original music is by Rebecca McDonald.